Ladies and gentlemen, Fluffy is here, Gabriel Iglesias. How are you, my friend?
I am doing very well. I've just been given the green light that I can cuss.
That's right.
We don't know. You might hear words like shucks or darn it.
I was about to say, you don't really curse, do you?
Oh, darn it. I do, man, but it's usually tequila involved.
Right. You have to be, you've made quite a reputation for yourself of being a nice, approachable man.
Yeah.
That seems like a risky thing to be, though.
Sounds like a trade on Christian Mingle.
Nice, approachable gentleman.
Nice, approachable gentleman. Hit him up.
But that seems like that.
Right? The kids love him. That just sounds wrong.
There's a lot that can go wrong when you're an approachable guy, though. That seems like there's, especially as a comedian, it seems like every time you craft a joke or every time you're tweeting something, you have to watch and make sure that your words aren't going to be pulled out of context.
Man, you have no idea. You're actually the first person to address it like that because things have been happening. When I say I'm approachable, hey, yeah, I'm the guy you can come up to and say hi. My buddy Martin and I have actually been kidnapped twice.
What?
Yeah. Kidnapped by fans, where we got picked up by fans, wound up at fans' houses, and we couldn't leave because they wouldn't take us. They wouldn't drive us back to our hotel.
And so, what do you just because you're trying to be nice the whole time?
Basically, it's just one of those like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess you're gonna cook dinner for us. That's cool. Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, we'll take pictures with the whole family. Sure, we'll wait for the rest of the family to arrive. I guess we can go in the backyard and shoot rifles. Yeah, it's happened. I mean, you hear him laughing back there. It's real, bro.
Now, is this because what? Because do you feel like you're kind of self-made? You've gotten this far with the fans, and you can't turn your because at some point you have to be like, I'm in the fucking movie theaters now.
Man, what happened?
He's a man of the people. I'm not a man of the people anymore. I'm famous. Don't be around me like that. Right?
Be gone from me.
Right.
From Scandinavia. No, man. And my whole thing is I'm just I don't like letting people down. I really don't. I hate being, making people sad or not happy. And so it kills me sometimes, trying to just please everyone.
Just make everybody happy.
It's impossible to do it. But,
especially at this point, like, especially once you get to a place where you have some success and money and things like that, because now there are things you can do for people. So I would imagine everyone's coming out of the woodworks being like, hey, remember me? Remember high school? Remember?
No, it happens.
It does, right?
It has happened. And I mean, something as simple as just a photo, It's like I'll take a picture with someone and it's like, okay, now let's do a selfie. Okay, now my friend's going to get in this picture.
Right.
Okay, now can you record a video for a friend?
Right.
Can you do my outgoing message on my voicemail? And the second you say no to one of those, you're an ass.
Right.
That's it.
You do voices. Which is even worse because now everybody wants a voicemail message.
Do the
girl
voice, man. I'm like, oh my God,
See, that's why Louis C.K. was smart because as soon as he became famous, he made a thing. He goes, I don't take pictures with people anymore. I'm not going to do it ever for anyone.
That's because he's a dick.
And he just stopped doing it.
Right? I'm sorry. Hey, put that on record, Louis C.K. If you don't have time to take pictures with your fans, you're a dick.
Well, it's not that he doesn't have time. It's just that he wants to cut things off at the pass.
He wants to cut things off at the pass. I mean, you get
he doesn't want to be stuck in somebody's house while they're fixing him dinner.
You know what? I'd rather be stuck at someone's house than not appreciate the people that put me in the position that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's just the bottom line. I care about people. And,
you do.
I think that if you're in the business of entertainment, you need to care about your fans. You need to take that time.
So that's what
it doesn't take that much more. I mean, you lose some time during the day, and there's a couple times I'm with my family, and people butt into that conversation that's important. But again, I have this amazing life because of the people.
So you're a genuinely nice guy. That's the thing. It's not that you're putting on a show. You're actually a nice dude.
You ask any of the people that are in here on my payroll that they'll tell you. They'll tell you the type of person I'm.
Laughing hilariously at every joke.
They'll tell you exactly the type of person.
And they better. Oh my God! So
he's a humanitarian people.
So then, is it weird for you? Because the Fluffy movie is the thing now. You're taking your comedy, and not only have you gotten to a point where you're playing theaters, you're now one of the few comedians that can have their concerts shown in movie theaters. Is it weird for you to ask people to pay to see you? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, as a comic, people already pay to see me, so it's not like it's anything different. If anything, it's actually a quarter of the price.
Okay, so you're like, it's like,
the tickets,
whatever.
My tickets, I think, range anywhere from $45 to $70, depending on where you're coming to watch a show.
Uh-huh.
But a movie ticket's what, 10 to 15?
Right. So you're saying pay
IMAX
$12
a little bit more? Yeah,
everywhere.
that's it, man.
Are you on IMAX too?
No.
I was about to say.
No. He's like,
That's
God.
insulting.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
we need to put you on IMAX. So when did you? How long were you in comedy when you realized that you had enough control over the audience that you could play these big shows and still be personable and relatable, and because you still feel like the audience is there with you, even though the audience is now huge.
Yeah, I mean, in the last couple of years, just because, the material, it's like going to all these different places, you're not sure. Is it going to fly? Is it going to happen? Is it going to go over well? When we did shows in Saudi Arabia, the whole time we're like, okay, are they going to get the references? Are they going to understand it? Is it going to... And the more places we travel, the more we realize the internet has made the world a very small place. Any references I make here go over just as well in Saudi Arabia, go over well in Australia, or
really,
Oslo, Norway. I mean, I don't have to change very much as long as I stay away from certain topics like sports, religion, politics. I'm gold.
Right. As long as you're just talking about the things people do.
Yeah, things that are relatable. Relationships are always relatable. Hanging out with friends is relatable. Being the fish out of water is always relatable. It's just stuff that I try to make sure that it's a show that everybody understands.
And how did you become globally known? Was it the YouTube thing?
YouTube, social media, Facebook, Twitter, just being active with it. People know that it's actually me running it, not some representative or something. I mean, based on just my bad grammar that I use. The random drunk tweets at 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
What's up, people? Or just the pictures of food.
I don't know. It got hacked. I don't know who did that.
Right?
Yeah,
somebody did that.
So you do it all yourself.
Yes.
And you think that's important because that way people still have this.
It keeps you in the mix with people.
Right.
It keeps you more than anything. I think it keeps you relatable.
Yeah.
That's the biggest downfall with most artists, that eventually they stop having that connection. They lose that connection because they distance themselves and they don't want to take a picture.
Well, it's difficult because it seems like the more that happens, the more people are asking of you, and exactly. The more you give, the more
you give, the more they want.
And you kind of have to be in a position where you're just constantly reminding yourself of your success and say, I have to keep giving because not everybody gets this.
You grin and bear it, man, because the second I say no. Yeah, exactly, right? It's the slut mentality.
He's such a whore.
But just that he wants to spend time with me, I'll do whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants.
Oh, you buy a ticket to my show? Whatever.
Let's do it. I'll jiggle it.
Yeah. You want me to dance up on stage? What do you guys want? This is your show. So you're a big wrestling fan,
real,
right?
bro. I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's it. You're a big wrestling fan too, right?
Yes, I am.
Because I've seen you every now and then. Like I see you. We've never interacted, but like I think you were there for WrestleMania weekend, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I saw you wandering around backstage at the Hall of Fame.
I've been at the last 5 WrestleManias.
The last 5.
Oh yeah.
Now, are you there for your kids? Or are you there because it's your thing?
I'm there because it's my thing. I'm
is,
not gonna
right?
lie. I mean, I'm the one that got him into wrestling, and he's just like, all right, I guess it's WrestleMania time.
Right, we gotta
let's
go.
Gonna go hang out.
When you had kids, was that a goal? Or you like, I got to set them in front of a TV that has wrestling on, so I can have little wrestling fans around me?
I think that was the first thing I wanted to connect with him on. I figured, you know what, I was big into wrestling when I was a kid, and hopefully this is something we can bond on. And when we started going to the events, my son was very excited about it, and he was into it. And then, of course, you go through that age, you're 13, 14, 15, you start changing, and wrestling's not important. Now chicks are important. So now that's his whole thing right now. He's like, ooh.
See, that's what people say. Like, I was just having a conversation with somebody yesterday that said I was into wrestling until I found women. And I was like, well, that's why for me, like, no women have ever been interested in me. So I never had to veer away from professional wrestling. But
oh yeah.
But did it start to trip you out, I guess, when it started happening at first, that you'd go to wrestling shows? And I'm assuming it happened with other celebrities too, that you'd meet people who you had an appreciation for that were like excited to meet you.
That's happened a couple times. One of my biggest, childhood idols was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Still is, And, to get to the point where I get invited to his house and he wants me to do his podcast and hang out and let's drink. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm in his house. I'm on his toilet. I'm sitting on his toilet. I'm like, wow, I'm on Stone Cold Steve Austin's toilet.
You've taken a shit on Stone Cold's toilet?
Yeah, and that's the bottom line because Fluffy said so.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I think that's every wrestling fan's dream on some level.
I honestly think that it really is, man.
Do you sit there when you're on the toilet, like thinking as it's happening, holy shit, literally, I can't believe that this is where I am.
I'm on Stone Cold's toilet. And he's outside. Hey, cut it off in there, man.
And every photo that you've ever taken, every hardship that you've ever had to deal with, is worth it for the fact that Stone Cold is yelling at you, telling you to get out of his bathroom.
toilet, yeah.
You're stinking up his bathroom. Has it ever happened outside of wrestling? I mean, I'm sure it has, but like, what were some of the more memorable moments when you go, oh my God, like this celebrity that I think of as this sort of above me
Floyd
is into what I do?
Mayweather.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
because Floyd is like
Mayweather
the most.
tweets me.
He tweeted you?
Yeah.
He's the most egotistical dude ever. So to think that like he's taking time out of his day to be like, yeah, you're the man too, it's like, I must be the man.
I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely flattering. So yeah, when he tweets you, you kind of like, whoa. At first, you're like, no, this can't be him. This can't be him. But then you realize some of the grammar's a little bit off, and
that's
probably
that's You're like, my grammar's off. His
yeah,
it's
like
him.
okay, yeah, it's a little real. He's using the numbers, 2 instead of TO. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, I like UTWO, and you're like, what? The weird thing is, like we were talking about, having kids and stuff. To incorporate that into comedy, I've always found to be like a very sort of risky thing because people either can relate to it and enjoy it, or they're like, oh, no, all he talks about is having kids. I liked him before he had kids. Like, was that something that you had to like work on to make sure, okay, I don't want to come off as like, I'm out of the game now, I have kids, but I still have this relatable thing, or this is still just a funny story?
I think the fact that I've been talking about my family since day one,
yeah.
I think is probably the reason why people haven't gotten tired of it. Because I mean, I've kept it. Nothing's really changed. The friends are getting crazier. The stories are getting crazier. My son's growing up, and I mean, it's just him. So I mean, I think you got to just inform people as far as the progress of life, and they're going to be okay instead of just doing the same old thing.
Is that difficult to now be at a point where, like, you live a life that people don't necessarily live anymore because you're a famous dude, to still make it relatable, to find those parts of it that are still relatable, like, hey, I'm still a human being that lives a life?
I think the fact that I stay on the road as much as I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on the road 46 weeks out of the year. I'm gone 4 days a week, and so it's not like I'm home in the mansion. All the, hello, get the bat. Okay, it's great. Fluffy's hungry.
Yeah.
I'm out there at the freaking in front of a Waffle House, some hotel. I mean, we're always at train stations, bus stations, airports. We're always in the mix with people, and so I think that's another reason that keeps us grounded.
Right. You don't have the opportunity to sit back and just count your money.
No,
because you're just
absolutely.
I got to keep making it. I got to keep making it. I got to keep making it. It's gonna. Do you have that fear that it's all
ahead? I know. No, this is gonna be good.
I said he forgot to say private planes.
Yeah, he forgot the private planes.
Yeah. What?
He forgot the charter terminal.
What bus stops and train stations are you going to
My
really?
team is calling me. Okay, yes, there's certain times when we do take
the first class lounge.
Yeah.
There's
certain times when the
calling you out of your bullshit
are very,
right now.
very nice.
Like,
no, they are. This is great. I love this.
How does the private jet system work?
How does he stay humble and stay real when your friends call you out like that? That's cool.
When you're just sitting there doing a radio interview and some guy's in the corner going, asshole. It's easy to stay humble, I guess.
It really is. But there's certain times, man, it is very awesome. We got, tour bus on the road, trailer. Sometimes we get to stay at really cool, expensive hotels that we have no business staying in. The kind of places where we walk around and people follow you because they think you're lost.
Right, like, what's he doing here?
Yeah, what's he doing here?
Do you worry that, like, is part of the reason that you work so much? Do you have that sort of comic mentality that it's all going to go away?
It's going to go away. It really is. And it's one of those things you just got to capitalize and do it as much as you can while you got it.
Yeah. Now, do you have, because most comics have very low self-esteem. Are you one of those guys? Do you sit there going like, I don't know why they like me, but they like me, I'm just going to keep doing it? Or do you think you're awesome?
That's an honest question, bro. Hey, you know what? I'm somewhere in between that. I'm somewhere in between that. My self-esteem isn't shot to shit. And I don't walk around freaking with my chest out. So I'm somewhere in the middle of that, though.
Like, you think that, like, you should be where you're at?
I do believe that I should be where I'm at because I work very hard at it. I do believe that. I do believe that I'm able to go up on stage and entertain people very, very well. And I think between that and the working hard, I deserve to be in this position. What
happens with the other comedians, especially like people that you came up with, when you achieve this level of success? Are they...
I'm not home to see it, but I mean, you read messages through Twitter and Facebook, and it's sometimes they're happy for you, and sometimes they're like, why not me?
Right, and that's when you kind of figure out who your real friends are, anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, and that makes you realize exactly how hard you're working, and what they don't realize.
Right, because you're like, I've seen you guys. Like, I know that you guys don't work. Like, I know why you're sitting at the same club, because all you do is sit at the same club.
I don't know why I never made it.
What is it like? What is the thing to be a globally successful comic? Is it that you just have to get yourself in front of as many different people as humanly possible, as often as possible? Is it writing? Is it?
I think, like I said, the combination of social media and YouTube puts it out there. I mean, if people think you're funny, they're going to share the videos. As long as you're not ruffling feathers, people are going to be comfortable in sharing and passing your stuff on. That's why I made it a point. Stay away from religion. Stay away from politics. Stay away from sports. It's not always what you say; it's what you don't say.
Right.
And as long as you're not pissing people off, people are more up to saying, "Hey, this, he's not bad. Hey, I go take my kids to see him. I go take my parents to see him."
Are there things that you want to say that you kind of stop yourself from, or is it not? Is it something that you don't even? You're just like, I don't even have that in my life. I don't care.
You know what? Every now and then I get a wild hair in my ass that I want to say something about whatever topic or some social issue that's going on. But I never feel that I'm informed enough to say the right thing and sound educated enough about what I'm talking about. And I don't want to sound like a dumbass up on stage. Like,
right.
You know what? And that's why Obama. No. I won't even go there if I don't know what I'm talking about 100%.
And especially because you got so many eyes on you now.
Yeah.
The minute you say something
like that, then really?
And you can't go back on it.
No.
Like you can't become informed and be like, oh, had my head up my ass. I had no idea what I was talking about. They're going, no, because you said.
Exactly. And people will always call you on it. And that's why, hey, I just keep it friendly. Keep the show friendly and there shouldn't be any issues.
Yeah. Now, you were in the film Magic Mike.
Oh, yeah.
That was, what was Matthew McConaughey like on that set? Because I heard that he, by himself, wrote hugely long intros for every male stripper in the film.
That I don't know. I mean, I saw him rehearsing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, whether somebody handed him a script for that, I didn't read the whole script. I only read my parts.
Gotcha.
I like to be surprised too.
Not me.
Yeah. I got to give him credit because you know what? He sticks to his role throughout the entire process. I mean, he did not call me Gabriel until the end of the movie.
He called you by your character name.
He called me by my character name the entire time. Even during lunch breaks, he'd walk over and he'd be like, so Tobias, how's the sound system working tonight? I'm like, well, hey, Matthew, I think the sound system's pretty good. You want a sandwich? All right. And then he'd walk away and I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
he's always keeping, he keeps his character.
And you're like, and you're like looking at him like, this is somebody who really knows what he's doing. I can't sit there and be like, I'm not a DJ.
No,
Matthew, I don't know what
like,
you're talking
okay, the sound system's great. It's really good. And we'll call times at 6.
Does that make you think like, oh, maybe I should be acting like a DJ 24/7? Or are you still sitting there going like?
It just shows me that his level of commitment is much higher than anyone else's. And there's a reason why he has an Oscar, because he's that committed to it.
And you probably
he's very talented.
And you probably relate to it too. You're like, this guy's working his ass off to the point that he's not stopping. He's working constantly on the set. He's finding character. He's putting you in character.
Yeah, when he takes a role, he gives it 110%, man. And he actually brings people's levels up because of that. Because then you're not messing around. You're like, oh shoot, he's taking it that serious.
Right.
I better take it that serious too.
And that's not dissimilar from what you've done in comedy. I mean, the fact setting up your social media and making yourself relatable, and the fact that you have to be the guy on stage all the time, and that's part of what makes you successful, right?
Yes.
That's a very serious undertaking.
Tell me about it.
I'm like, yeah.
No joke.
Fluffy's going to stay in his room for a little while. It's just Gabriel now. Fluffy is not going to be around, but Fluffy has to be there always.
Oh, man. Yeah, they put Fluffy in the box every night.
Yeah. I would like to see the one time, though, when Gabriel just comes out and he's on his private jet and he's just cursing a storm up at everybody.
You know what? I don't think have I cursed everybody out? No, I don't think I've ever. Maybe drunk. I might. Okay, drunk. I have no recollection.
How do you
of that.
avoid? How do you?
Drunk. I have no recollection. They're laughing. Drunk. I have no recollection of it.
Is you going out and getting drunk and drinking tequila? Is that something that like? Okay, we have to make sure that everybody's on the up and up. We have to make sure there's no paparazzi around. We have to make sure we do it in a controlled environment.
They try, man, but
doesn't work out.
I wind up outside somewhere,
just wandering the streets.
He's trying to take selfies with buses.
From now on, we only drink on the plane. Only drink on the plane.
Yeah, I mean, no, man, don't get me wrong. I cut loose sometimes, and I've been very fortunate that I haven't done anything too stupid that got myself in trouble. But yeah, it's hard, man. At the end of the night, trying to come down from that rush, you just, did a show in front of freaking,
right.
5,000, 7,000, 10,000 people. And
you're not ready to go to bed.
I'm not ready to go to bed.
Right. You got to pass out. You're not going to fall asleep. That's the way it works.
I feel like you've been on the road in your previous life, bro.
Well, listen, everybody, have you seen the movie Have you seen what it looks like on the screen?
Yes.
Obviously, you've lived it, but have you seen it as a
to watch it from the from the audience? It's very surreal to see it because like, especially with a room full of people, because then you're hearing them laugh at the guy on the screen, and you're like, oh my god, that's me. It's like a very much a out of body experience. And
are you sitting there laughing at the guy on screen too? This guy's hilarious. Listen to him.
You know what? It actually the fact that I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, all right, I get it. But I'm laughing more because the people are laughing, and I'm like, okay, cool, they like it. This is great.
Right.
You know? So I'm listening to them, and I'm just watching, and I'm going back and forth, and it's very cool.
Have people caught you in the theater going to your own movie?
Well, if it's a screening, then I've invited people, and I'm there. So I mean, yeah, they've seen me there at the actual screening. But once it comes out, I plan on sneaking into a couple, just to see what happens.
I hope that there is a story though. Gabriel Iglesias going to his own movie again.
He's so vain.
Well, listen, everybody, go check out Fluffy Movie. It's July 25th in theaters.
July 25th in theaters.
It's crazy, and it's not. It's everywhere.
Yeah, nationwide, and it's PG-13.
Amazing. So you can bring your kids.
You can bring your kids.
As long as they're, like, I'd say 10 or above.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's no F-bombs in this movie. There's a couple, I say shit up maybe, twice in the whole film.
Okay.
So I don't want people thinking it's weak. It's not Frozen. It's,
right.
Like, oh, you're going to talk about singing about a snowman or something. No, it's
Although, that's what everybody wants. I'll sing like a snowman. I'll do whatever you want.
All right, I'll say it one time on the air. This fucking guy.
Thank you so much. Everybody see Fluffy Movie. I appreciate you, Gabriel.